Welcome to another episode of Nintendo News Daily. It's back, you guys. It's back. So sorry, had a little bit of a hiatus. Life has been lifing, and so I've been dealing with it. But we are back. We're going to be talking some Nintendo news. We're also doing the live show, 6 p.m. Eastern, daily, with just me and you. So make sure to jump in because I'd love to get your guys' input. We're going to be covering different topics. I'm posting those topics in the Discord every morning. So make sure to jump in for that. Now, get to the news. This is from Nintendo Life via Games Radar. Via, let's see, who's it from? Looks like Kazi N64 on YouTube. Okay. This is crazy. I don't think you guys are ready for this, but Mario 64 in the news here. New Super Mario 64 sound effect can only be heard by leaving the game on for 14 months. That's right. You heard correctly. 14 months. So in the game, there is a shark known as Sushi the Shark. And I'll give you the details here. So there's a bug. All right. There's a bug. So Kazi, a hacker who's been reporting his findings on Super Mario 64 for years now, has released a new YouTube video detailing some bugs that result from inbuilt game timers, some of which he's found out the hard way take some 14 months to go off. That's a long time. That's a long time. So the bug in question revolves around Sushi the Shark. In the game's Dire Docks course, to break it down simply, Sushi makes a sound every 16 frames. This sound is repeated so frequently by the character that you never hear it in full. However, due to the nature of the timers built into the game to prevent overflow bugs, if a player were to, sit on the screen with Sushi present for 60 weeks or so, the sound will abruptly stop playing. Then it'll play fully. Just one time. A brand new sound heard for the first time in a 29-year-old game. This is insanity. When I saw this earlier today, like in a Facebook group, a Nintendo Facebook group, and I was like, no way. Like, I know this doesn't like make the game any more fun, but the fact that somebody is figuring this stuff out still just blows my mind, and I love it. I think it's incredible. I love getting just strange little pieces of news just like this, that you sit in this spot for 60 weeks, 14 months. Can you imagine? Like, Mom, don't shut my game off. I can't save. I'm coming back. And all of a sudden Sushi makes a new sound 14 months later. It's just crazy. That's crazy. But I love seeing Mario 64 in the news. If you go and watch the video, which I highly recommend, it's not a short video. There's also a bug that takes some 40 months to happen, but there are wings that are flapping on a ship, and it's only on the Japanese version of the game. But those wings actually stop, and I think they go silent. They stop, and it was fixed in the US version of the game. So just so crazy. And again, some of this stuff, basically he's going in and looking at the code and able to figure out how to find these things. But it's just wild, digging through that much code and seeing exactly what needs to happen to make it work. I think it's absolutely bonkers, but I'm here for it. Moving on here. Pokemon Fossil Museum lets you see life-size replicas of Pokemon skeletons, and it's heading to North America. So the Pokemon Company has revealed that Pokemon Fossil Museum, a traveling exhibit of Pokemon skeletons and fossils for paleontologists, will be leaving Japan for the first time in 2026. The first exhibit to debut outside of Japan will be in Chicago's Field Museum in Illinois. and is due to open on the 22nd of May 2026. That gives you a full year to start saving up to the visit. The exhibit is a mix of real life-size replicas of Pokemon skeletons and comparison to real-life fossils. It will be up to aspiring researchers to spot the similarities and differences between the likes of I think it's called a Sue, I don't know, the T-Rex and I guess that's the name, Sue the T-Rex, and Tyrantrum. Oh my goodness, it's Pokemon names, guys. I'm so sorry. And so, in other words, it's a great way to see how real animals, alive and extinct, serve as inspiration for your favorite Pokemon. And you can look up the Pokemon Fossil Museum on YouTube. It's honestly the thumbnail is the T-Rex versus the Tyrantrum. It's really cool. Like, it's super cool. This would be, I remember as a kid going to the Seattle Science Center was a big deal when I was a kid. And we would go when it was like the dinosaurs were there. And they would be like these massive animatronics. You could see a T-Rex moving around, and it was very impressive. This kind of stuff, like it really is, it's kind of nostalgic for me, even though I'm not like, I don't have a ton of like nostalgia for Pokemon. I still love it. And this also just reminds me of being a kid and going to like, museums and that kind of stuff. But walking through and seeing actual like life-sized replicas of some of these Pokemon, I think that's pretty fun. So who knows? Maybe it'll be a trip I can take and go and check it out in Chicago next May, because that's really, really cool. Definitely go check out the video on YouTube if you want to see some of the comparisons. And great to see that this thing is leaving Japan and traveling. Very, very cool. This is interesting. PSN's Agent 07. Okay, Agent 07. Think 007, right? Think James Bond. Agent 07 Revenge reportedly uses assets from GoldenEye 007. Again, we're on Nintendo Life here. It says a dubious game currently available on the PlayStation Store for $14.99 appears to have lifted the dam level from GoldenEye 007 almost in its entirety. Interesting. As reported over by Recollect 64, iOrder SRL has been wholesale borrowing entire level layouts and assets from the Nintendo 64's finest hour. According to speedrunner and GoldenEye expert Gross Blue 00, and as is made fairly clear in a fun playthrough video he's put together, complete with running commentary, Agent 07 Revenge doesn't even take the opportunity to pull off a sneaky bit of spy sabotage here. No, sir. It's gone in all guns blazing like a big, loud dummy. And so I'm looking at the pictures. It's identical. I played the damn level a lot. I loved running through that level. It was just so much fun and so gorgeous. Even back in the day, like seeing the mountains, the sky, like just fantastic. So curious now that this is kind of hitting the news cycle and the word is getting out, if this is going to get pulled. As of right now, Sony, let's see. It says, however, Sony has taken action against the slot before, and with apparently copied content from Microsoft's own Rare Classic, we imagine this one doesn't have long to live. So there you go. Probably not going to be around too long. And I mean, who does this? Why do that? Who's not going to notice? Like, this is so obvious. It's so obvious. Down to the shape of the mountains and everything. Like, the lighting is better, the textures are better, but it is clearly the same level. Like, there's literally no hiding it. Next up, Square Enix details plan to reboot and awaken its business with a focus of quality over quantity. So here's just kind of a blurb from Square Enix itself. It says net sales for the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2025 totaling, it looks like 324 million yen, which is a decrease of 8.9% from the prior fiscal year. Operating income looks like 40 million, which is an increase of 24%, 24.6 the prior fiscal year. Ordinary income amounted to 40 million yen, a decrease of 1.4% the prior fiscal year, and profit attributed to owners of the parent amount of 24 million. I'm not given the exact numbers, yen, an increase of 63% from the prior fiscal year. And in a separate comment, see if they have it here. They don't. Square details its midterm plan to reboot and awaken its business operations with focuses on 4 core initiatives. Here we go. Enhance productivity by optimizing the development footprint in the digital entertainment segment. Diversify earnings opportunities by strengthening customer contact points. Roll out initiatives to create additional foundational stability. And allocate capital giving consideration to the balance between growth, investment, and shareholder returns. From the article here, it says the biggest takeaway in terms of games is that Square Enix is once again reinforcing its plan to focus on multi-platform titles and optimize its development structure to significantly reduce costs. We know, of course, that it's planning to release the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on Switch 2 later this year, which was previously exclusive to PS4, PS5, and PC. Nintendo and Square have had pretty good relationship through the Switch's life cycle. I would say really good. There are so many Square games, and they have done so much. I think the future is looking bright as far as Switch 2 owners go when it comes to Square. And so and it's, I mean, these kind of problems in what you hope in most cases will get them on a path. They want to be profitable. They don't want to see these decrease. Even if they're small decreases, they don't want to see that. They want to see growth year after year. I think Switch 2 is going to help with that. I think it's been a little bit strange that Final Fantasy VII Remake hasn't made its way over to the Xbox. I know that's not a huge install base, but still, it does seem quite strange. I like at PAX I think it was PAX West 2019. Square brought me in behind closed doors, kind of some VIP treatment to check out Final Fantasy VII Remake. I can't wait to play this game. Like when this hits Switch 2, it's a day one for me. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. It's gonna be so great. So really curious to see how this plays out, what they do moving forward. And it's good to see these kind of comments, honestly. Like if they're not where they want to be, they got to get there. They got to get there. And hopefully they do that by getting more games on more platforms and putting out the highest quality games possible. So it's good for us in the end. No question there. This is interesting, you guys. This is very interesting. The name of the next Super Mario Brothers movie is apparently Super Mario World. So what happened is it seems that NBC Universal put up a post on their website that said an exciting range of films from Universal Pictures, Focus Features, DreamWorks Animation, and Illumination were presented, including Megan 2.0, Nobody 2, Bad Guys 2, How to Train Your Dragon, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, Black Phone 2, Him, and Phoenician Scheme. Now, when this came out, they've since removed it, but when it dropped, it also included Super Mario World. So we know from the end of the last movie, spoiler alert, there was a Easter egg, or should I say a Yoshi egg. Yoshi was introduced in Super Mario World. So does that mean we're going to see them in the capes again, just like they were in the commercial? This is honestly pretty exciting. Are we going to see, are Bowser's kids going to show up? Are the Koopalings going to show up? So I'm very, very excited for this movie. Super Mario World, Super Mario 3 again. I have a hard time trying to decide which of the two is the better game. I think I lean a little more towards 3, but I adored World. Like all 3 of my save files, 100%ed. Just love this game. Like absolutely loved it. So the fact that they're naming the movie Super Mario World, I'm here for it. Again, that's what was leaked today. It could change, of course. You know, grain of salt as always. But I do kind of wonder if there's a little bit of a pattern here. Like if you think about the first movie, it kind of covered the first 3 games in a way, as far as like I'm talking more like power-ups. The Tanuki suit was in originally from Mario 3. You had the fire flower, the star, all that, you know, that's even from the first game. So I wonder if they're kind of viewing it like that kind of encompasses the NES, and next will be Super Nintendo. And then what will the third iteration be? You know, how do they sync that one up? I'd have no idea, you know, because it's called Mario 64, right? So I'm not quite sure how they would do that, but they could do some things like give him a like the wings on his hat, and Metal Mario might become a thing. You know, who knows as far as some power ups go. And again, it's not, I'm not out here saying that like the first movie represents Mario 1, 2, and 3, like by no means, but like I do kind of wonder if there's like a loose timeline, if you will, of like, okay, this kind of covered those. Next will be World, then 64. And obviously it's a light covering, right? As I can't imagine that they would like just lean fully into like the wing hat and Metal Mario, that kind of stuff. Like they would almost be less in the movie, if you will. So really cool to see. And very hopeful that it is called Super Mario World. And you know, super excited for Yoshi, you know, the Koopa kids, all that stuff. Just seems like it's going to be, that potentially could be a ton of fun. A ton of fun. So really looking forward to that. You know, and again, they've removed the title. It wasn't supposed to be on there. So I think we're still waiting. We've got the date of April 3rd, 2026, but we don't have much more info other than that. So hopefully we'll see some kind of a trailer, even a teaser, sooner than later. Well, this is pretty cool. You can mix and match your Switch OLED at the Nintendo's new store. So the new store in San Francisco, you are able to order a OLED, and then you can mix and match the Joy-Con. You can pick the colors that you want. You can pick the wrist strap that you want. I saw a video of Brian Altano from IGN, and basically picked, you know, all these different colors for the wrist straps, the Joy-Con, and then they box it up for you right there, and you go on your way. So kind of cool to see that make its way to the States, because that was something exclusive to Japan for the longest time. I think you could even do that online. I think you could custom order your OLED if you wanted with the color Joy-Con, any color Joy-Con that you wanted, and be able to customize it to your liking, which is a super cool thing. I hope stuff like that continues. I hope we get to see that with the Switch too, because I don't know if you guys have heard me say before, but I'm not a huge fan of the accent colors of the blue and the peach color or salmon color, whatever it is. I don't like it doesn't seem very Nintendo to me. It seems like a little bit off. I think there's better colors they could have gone with. It's not like a deal breaker by any means, just my just my opinion, that's all. Speaking of the stores, Nintendo's new store will stock mini sculpture replicas. So let's say there's a sculpture of Mario jumping. That's what I'm looking at the picture right here. You can get a mini version of of that of that statue in store. Like what cool pieces to display around your game collection. Like I think it's super cool. So this also includes, and there's a little video from the Nintendo store. So you can see Mario, you can see Link, you can see Pikmin, and you can see Isabelle and the um Timmy and Tommy, and you can also see a an Inkling from Splatoon. So 2 more days until it opens. I was um, chatting with one of my friends who works for Nintendo, and she is heading to the store, and we were just kind of just over chatting over X, and she is like, "I'm nervous for my wallet and my suitcase." So, and I mean, I remember the first time I was at the Nintendo store, it was the same thing. I'm like, this is like a kid in a candy shop. There's so much cool stuff here. So totally understand that. And then seeing like, cool stuff like these statues, amazing. Amazing. They would definitely have to be something they they would I would want them in my collection. Um is worth noting. So it says there's no mention of the price just yet, but previous listings in Japan sold for about 7,150 yen each. It's about $65. So the wallet is definitely in trouble when it comes to these statues, and they don't look too much bigger. Like there's somebody holding it in their hand in the tweet that went out. They don't look much bigger than an amiibo. So they do look pretty detailed, which is cool. But that's a hefty price tag for like personally, I'd like to see something like a little bit larger for that price tag. But it's Nintendo, so you're gonna pay a premium, no doubt. So, well, that is gonna do it for today's Nintendo News Minute. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you so very much. Make sure to jump into the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. We are going to be having a daily topic that we cover. And I'm going to mention it here first. I'm going to start doing a game of the month on NSO. And I think this month's game is going to be Super Mario Brothers 3. So if you've never played it or you want to play through it again, I'm going to have a game of the month spot in Discord where we can chat about this. And so if it's your first time checking it out, love to hear your thoughts. If it's an old favorite of yours, love to hear, what makes it your favorite. And we will chat about it more in the Discord. So thank you again so much for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.